Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
How's your day going?
Going good. Thank you. Yes.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Really, guys?
What? Jackson's always has his game ready.
Let's go!
It's the all-wheel drive event at Lithia Ford of Boise. From hunting trips to ski trips to trips to Grandma's house. Nobody does AWD like LFB. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise Pregame Show from Bronco Nation News. Game time is approaching, and we're getting you ready with the latest pregame news, interviews, analysis, and more from BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Have a pregame score prediction or comment? Let us know in the ICCU YouTube chat or leave us a message on the Signature Roofing voice box at speakpipe.com/BNN. The BNN Pregame Show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise and our major sponsors Jackson's, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, rowpaint.com, and the Blue and Orange store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State Athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show on Bronco Nation News.
Well, good evening, Bronco Nation, and welcome to the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, where the Broncos have won 5 straight regular season games against the Rebels. They'll try to make it 6 tonight. in front of a rowdy crowd. They got cheap beers. They got some students coming. Going to be a fun atmosphere here tonight at the Thomas and Mack Center. We welcome you live here. Wish I could say courtside, Abe Jackson, but we're a little bit higher than usual.
The 20 rows or up or so, something like that.
The perch here at UNLV, I don't actually mind it. It's an okay view. It's just a different view. We are a little raised from the court. You see our live view here. This is going to be the view that we'll have, the view that you and Bob Beeler will have on the call on 670 KBOI coming up in about 22 minutes as the Broncos, Abe, down here in Las Vegas trying to end a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, and, they got their work handed to them, got their game handed to them against Utah State the last time they took the court. So that's the good thing about basketball, and people who've watched this show probably heard me say it quite a bit, is that you don't have to wait very long that you get a chance to redeem yourself. Just games start coming quick. They just played, it seems like, and now we're going to get another game here tonight. And time to get back on track. I mean, this is a team that struggled defensively in the last few games after a great run of about 5 or 6 games on the defensive end, but the offense hasn't clicked really at all this season. I think one game they shot over 60% against Chaminade, a non-Division I school. But other than that, I feel like it's been, they hang around that 42%, but they get there by shooting 25%, and then they shoot 48 or 49 in the second half. So some consistency offensively would be great tonight.
Well, unfortunately, some bad news. You see right here on the screen, Javen Buchanan not warming up tonight with his teammates. Not official yet from Boise State, but they're on the court stretching right now. He's the only guy not in uniform going through stretches. Looks like Javen Buchanan, one of Boise State's best players, out tonight for the Broncos.
The most versatile offensive player. He can hit the three. He can back down, post up. And we've seen him do multiple dribbles from the three-point line and drive to the hoop. So they're going to be missed. If he ends up not shooting up tonight, he is going to be missed.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing their full team drills down on the court right now. We'll go to a live look here, and you can see he is the only guy down there about the three-point line wearing his sweats, not going through team drills. So it does appear that he would be out tonight, and that certainly is a big blow, like I said. And when they play that zone and they do some things, I mean, he's that guy that can control the middle. We don't have the starting lineups yet. We are going to get them about 7:30, I believe. We were going to get a little heads up on those before they go out publicly to everybody else. So we should have that. But what's your take? Is it Spencer Aaron's time to shine tonight, or who's the guy you think really steps into those minutes?
Well, it has to be somebody. I mean, you talk about it when you're playing against a team and they have one of their main scorers out. You say, well, someone's got to get those shots up. There's going to be that many shots in a game, and the shots that Javen usually takes are going to have to go to somebody else. And so I think you nailed it. I think Spencer Aaron's could have a big game, or just a game with more minutes and more contributions. And I'd also like to see Pearson Carmichael get going. Since conference started, he has just struggled, especially from three. He's shooting in the teens from the three-point line. Love to get it going here on the road.
What do you make of Spencer Aaron's freshman season to this point, and if he's ready to play 25 minutes tonight?
Yeah, I think he's ready to play 25 minutes. Now, what's that 25 minutes going to give you? I think defensively is where the question marks really are with him. We've seen his offense, flashes of brilliance really with catch and shoot threes. He had that individual run at home where he had the offensive put-back dunk, and then back-to-back heat-check threes that he knocked down. So the offense is there for Spencer Aarons, and he's only going to get better, but the defense is really where I think his minutes get limited. But without Javen in the court tonight, then those minutes could go up.
All right, he is Abe Jackson. My name is BJ Rains. I'm with Bronco Nation News. Abe, part of Learfield Bronco Radio Network. You'll hear him and Bob on the call in about 20 minutes. You're seated right next to me. I get the pleasure of sitting next to Bob Beeler tonight and listening to this game. Hopefully it's a fun game here tonight to listen to. But, all right, let's talk about this offense. The numbers are not pretty. I did my homework here, Abe, and not going to go through all of them. But the effective field goal percentage from Ken Pom, 277th in the country. They're 234th in three-point percentage. They're 285th in two-point percentage. They're 293rd in block percentage somehow. The big one as well, non-steal turnovers. So the 5-second calls, the shot clock violations, the unforced kind of turnovers, a turnover that is not credited to a steal on the other team, that they're 247th in the country on that. So it happens 8.1% of the time. So not only are they not shooting great, they also don't even get shots up sometimes because of some issues. It's been a lot of dribbling, a lot of one-on-one, not much flow. We've talked about it for a couple games now. I don't know what can be done in 2 days of practice to totally change what we're seeing. But what do you expect from the offense? What do you want to see from the offense here tonight?
I want to see more movement from the offense. Like, I don't mind one-on-one moves, but it needs to come off some flow. You need to get the defense moving a little bit, especially away from the ball. If you got some movement away from the ball, the defense has to know where you are, and they can't just sit there and see the ball and be able to come over and help so easily. You got to have some movement before you go into your one-on-ones, and that's really what the offense has been with Tim Duryea, and I don't think it's a bad offense. I honestly think this year he didn't change the offense. He didn't change it and say we're going to go one-on-one. I think it's one of those situations that you hear about where the coach will put in a play, and then when the players get out there sometimes, it's like, where'd that play go? It just completely disappeared. So hopefully with the film breakdown of the last couple games, we can actually see it on film and say, look, we are stagnant, we are not moving the ball, and we are not getting anywhere. We're not scoring a lot of points. We're not shooting a good percentage. And so we need to change something offensively. So hopefully they can take it from the huddles and on the whiteboard out onto the court.
Again, you see the Broncos warming up, going with the orange uniforms on the left part of your screen. If you just joined us, Javen Buchanan, not in uniform, standing under the basket in street clothes. Looks like he's going to be out tonight. We mentioned somebody will start for him, but now questions, and we'll know in 20 minutes here if there's any other changes to the starting lineup. Abe, a lot of talk about Dylan Andrews, and you're talking about the point guard position and the ball movement, all that kind of stuff. That would be what I would consider a pretty big change to the starting lineup if Leon wanted to do that. What do you make of Dylan Andrews, his minutes? Again, 1 assist from those 2 point guards last game. I would assume NATO stays in there, but where are you on Dylan Andrews? I'm fine if he starts, but I'm also fine if he comes off the bench.
Well, the assist for a point guard, that's a trackable thing, right? Like how many assists do they have? It's on every single stat sheet. But it's something that doesn't show up on the stat sheet is how do you start the offense? And I feel like the offense just hasn't gotten started great when he has the ball. I feel like there's a lot of dribbling between the legs. There's a lot of movement with him, but he's not going anywhere. I would like to see him just make a definitive move, start the offense, and then get some flow going instead of coming up, dribble. You've done 9 dribbles and you've moved about a foot, right or left. That doesn't start any offense, and it just starts you off stagnant. So you can track it with assists, but you can also just track it by how quickly can he get everybody into the offense and moving before a shot goes up.
And it's like one of those elementary school drills or something where it's like all 5 guys have to touch the ball, and you got to have at least, 6 passes or whatever before you can take a shot maybe, and not 20 dribble. You can't dribble more than twice or something. I mean, it sounds like literally, but I mean, literally in practice, you may need to go back to some of those just basic drills to get back, because this team used to be so good at passing up the good shot for the great shot. And this guy's open, but he kings it to the corner for a guy who's even more open. And we just really haven't seen much of that in the last couple of weeks.
No, and what movement does, one, it gets the defense moving, and they have to think about more than just you are in one spot and I can look at you in the ball. But what it does for your offense, especially with a guy like Andrew Meadow, who isn't great with one-on-one, where he just catches the ball stagnant and then he has to go. Where he's good is when he's doing some movement, when he's coming off of a screen and he already has some momentum, and then he can just get into your body and muscle to the hoop. So the momentum in getting Andrew Meadow the ball when he's already moving, instead of just, here's the ball, you're not moving anywhere, and now you have to go one-on-one. There's not a lot of guys on this team that are good at that. And I think one of the best ones was Javen Buchanan, and he's in sweats.
Again, you're going to hear Abe Jackson, Bob Beeler, the Bronco Radio Network, Learfield coming up in about 15 minutes, 670 KBOI, all their affiliate channels as well. And I know the defense is going to be a focus as well. Leon Rice saying after the last game, you would have thought their plan was to just tell guys to let them drive down the lane and just make layups, because for as bad as the offense has been, the defense wasn't particularly great the other night as well.
Well, the defense is what won the Broncos some games early on in this season. When they went on their multiple game stretch of wins, it wasn't because they were scoring 90 points and shooting 50% from the floor. They were shooting 38 or 42% from the floor, but they were holding opponents to under 30 sometimes. I mean, you look at that New Mexico game in the first half, Boise State shoots 2 for 12 from 3 in the first half, 25%, but they hold New Mexico to under 25%, and they didn't make a single 3 in the first half. So the offense hasn't really been there all year. The wins that they've got is because the defense was so locked in, and now the defense has kind of gone out the door the last few games, and that's why you're seeing these big-time losses.
So what do you make of just the uneasiness around the program, the fans a little unhappy? There wasn't any booing. I give the fans credit. There was no booing that I heard in the last game. A lot obviously left early. A lot are frustrated, but 2 tough home losses. You were a part of some tough losses. I mean, any chance getting out on the road with the guys away from the fans and all the noise? Could that help them tonight?
It can, but I mean, I think there's also justification for fans being upset. I mean, this is almost uncharted territory for a Coach Rice team getting blown out at home back-to-back in conference. I mean, that really just doesn't happen.
It hasn't happened.
So it's kind of, the feelings that you haven't had before if you're a Bronco fan. You're like, what am I watching right now? I mean, this is something totally different than the last 16 seasons or 15 seasons that we've had Coach Rice. So I can understand the frustration, but I can also understand if the players are like, you know what, I don't mind not playing at home right now and maybe get some mojo back out on the road and then bring that back home.
And I said it on this morning on our morning show. We look at some of the KenPom numbers. They played the 7th hardest schedule in the country. They've played the 8th best collection of offenses. You take the average offensive numbers from every team they've played, 8th hardest in the country. And the defenses, believe it or not, when you throw San Diego State, Utah State, some of these teams in there, the 4th best collection of defenses that anybody in America has played. So it's not both sides of the ball. They've had one of the toughest challenges in all of college basketball. And you look at the conference slate, I think it's 17-2, the opposing teams in conference. So if you're looking for a glimmer, if you're looking for a sliver of hope to at least keep this thing from falling off the rails, it would have to be that they've played a really tough schedule, but the next 5 games here are against lower teams in the conference. It would have seemed they're all close games, lower spread games, but coin flip games. But games certainly it would look like where the schedule eases up and they have a chance to get some wins.
So this is where the test is right now for the Broncos. I mean, you might have played the 4 teams in conference that are going to get a bye already. You might have already played them in your first 5 games. And so now you're going to be playing the teams that are middle to lower in the conference, like you said. So this is the test of where do you really stand? Maybe you're not a top 4 team. Maybe you're not, as good as a Utah State, who's number 23 in the country right now, or a San Diego State. But are you better than these middle teams? Are you better than Colorado State's and UNLVs and Air Forces and San Jose's? Are these the teams? These are the teams that you should be better than this year. So this will be a test right now, these next few games, to see where exactly this Bronco team is.
Could the lack of fans have any kind of impact on how hard the players play? What it's like San Jose or some of these arenas, they at least have the music pumping here. They try to have an atmosphere. There's just usually not a ton of fans. But
the place holds like 20,000.
So it feels emptier than it usually is.
It does.
Is that harder on a player on the road?
It can be, but I don't really think it has that much of an effect because when you're out there playing, you can tell when it's a packed house, right? But, I mean, if there's medium amount of fans or a little amount of fans, that really doesn't swing too much. I mean, you are so locked into the game that, I don't really think it matters too much.
All right, final 2 quick things. We'll get you out of here. Before we get to your keys and UNLV, just what do you want to see? What do you want to be talking about on the post-game show tonight? Like, well, what I mean, obviously a win, right? That's the most important any way you can. But what would you see tonight where you could take a deep breath and go, okay, maybe those 3 games aren't what they are, and there's some hope here moving forward?
I want to see movement on offense. I mean, I want to see less one-on-ones that are just starting off one-on-one where the ball comes down and then it gets held by one person, and then all of a sudden they got to pass, and that person holds the ball, and it's so easy for the defense to guard you. So it's nothing that we're going to look at on the stat sheet and say, hey, they had great movement, but just something that I'm going to be looking at. Where are the shots coming from? Are they getting guys shots out of movement instead of just one-on-one?
So what do we make of this UNLV team? Josh Pastner coming in 7-8 on the season. They've had 2 losses in a row here on the road to Wyoming and CSU. Now they've got an all-new lineup, new team. They're dealing with some injuries as well. But new coach, new program, and they're trying to get things rolling again down here in Vegas.
Yeah, one of the teams in league that has the huge question marks, right, with the new coaches and a completely new program and a new style. I mean, you're playing a team in UNLV that you've seen so many times over the years, but they've usually had some coaches that have been there for quite a few years, and now it's almost like just a brand new team. So film work on this one is I think, going to be pretty big because it's a brand new type of team and a brand new type of coaching style.
Quickly, your keys to a win for the Broncos.
Ball movement on offense, and not just ball movement, but body movement as well away from the ball. Keep the defense occupied even if they're not the one guarding the ball.
All right, you'll be on the air in about 10 minutes with Bob Beeler. We'll be listening, man. I'll be literally listening. I can finally listen. I'm looking forward to it, man. Appreciate you coming on. Man. Hopefully post-game is a happy post-game tonight. Appreciate it, Abe.
Yeah.
Abe Jackson, there he is. Appreciate him for popping on the Bronco Nation News pregame show here, brought to you by Lithia Ford Boise. Again, the Broncos getting set to take on UNLV. And if you missed the news early on, Javen Buchanan, it looks like, is out tonight. It was just a short time ago. Javen Buchanan not warming up with his teammates. They're now going through full warm-ups on the court here. Javen Buchanan not suited up. I assume we have some of his family in the chat like we usually do, but tough news for Javen Buchanan. He is not warming up. It looks like he is out tonight for Boise State. You see him right there rebounding for his teammates, passing the ball around, but not suited up tonight. Javen Buchanan, and that is certainly a big blow for a team that is trying to end a 3-game losing streak, and they're going to have to do it without one of their best players. Looked like he may have injured his back in the last game. Don't know that for sure, but didn't play in the second half, had a hard fall, and hopefully it's a short-term thing for Javen Buchanan. But if you look, you can see him down there in the corner of the arena down there by my small mugshot down there. You can see he's just standing around at the free throw line, dribbling a ball. No Javen Buchanan tonight for the Broncos as they get set to take on UNLV. We should get the starting lineups here in less than 10 minutes as well. We'll get you some starting lineups and what other changes. But as we said, we'll have at least one change because Javen Buchanan is out tonight. So we'll be tracking that and seeing who that is here momentarily here on the pregame show. So plenty still to come. We'll get you the lineups. We'll get you the matchups. Continue to show you warm-ups here as Boise State get set to take on UNLV as they try to end their 3-game losing streak here at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. Again, the title sponsor of our pregame show is Lithia Ford of Boise. They got those great deals going on, the 2025s, F-150s, Escapes, Explorers, Mach-E's. They got to get them off the lot to make way for some of those 26s. So you can get a great deal right now, 0% APR for 60 months, 0 down at Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor. We appreciate them. Hopefully you're having a Sun Cruiser tonight. Perfect night to crack open a couple Sun Cruisers. The strawberry lemonade vodka, my favorite. You can get the lemonade iced tea vodkas as well. Sun Cruiser, our studio sponsor, the mobile Sun Cruiser studios here at the Thomas and Mack Center. Low calories, low carb, no carbonation. If you're looking for just a nice day drinking drink, something to sip on, even if you're not a big iced tea fan, I can guarantee you're going to like the Sun Cruisers. Crack open a Sun Cruiser. Let the good times cruise. Hey, ICCU, we appreciate them. Their support of Bronco Nation News as well. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest is that mobile e-branch online banking right there in your smartphone. Idaho Central Credit Union, online at iccu.com. Again, Idaho Central Credit Union. We'll get you the starting lineups. We'll get you a live look at warm-ups here shortly. Get your score predictions in. Get your thoughts in on this one. How you feeling about Boise State tonight without Javen Buchanan, one of their best players, not going to play tonight, and that's a big blow to Boise State. So we'll want your score predictions and your shout-out to where you're watching from tonight. We'll get those out to you. There's Javen Buchanan on the screen with Jackson's. We'll have the Jackson's postgame show coming up after the game. 75-cent fountain drink when the Broncos score 75 points. If they can get to 75 tonight, you'll get a 75-cent any size fountain drink using that Let's Go Rewards app on Thursday, day after tomorrow, from our friends at Jackson's. They also have the 99-cent coffee anytime, day or night. You can get a 99-cent coffee from our friends at Jackson's. And want to thank Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com, the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family, whether it's the crunchy chicken wraps, the crunchy chicken strips, the quesadillas, the slushies, all the great options at Taco Bell. Visit a Treasure Valley Taco Bell location. You still got 40 minutes to go get to Taco Bell and get back, and then stop at Jackson's and get some Sun Cruisers and get home in time for this game. So Taco Bell, online, TacoBellWorks.com. And our other major sponsor we want to thank right now, before we get back to live action, is the Blue and Orange Store, online at theblueandorangestore.com. Get your Boise State gear, your jerseys, your caps, your bumper stickers, your car flags, the best selection at the best prices. The Blue and Orange Store, that location there at the Boise Town Square Mall. Their new location with the customized jerseys at the Allen Noble Hall of Fame. Or, of course, you can order online anywhere in the world at theblueandorangestore.com. All right, a live look. You see both teams warming up here at the Thomas and Mack Center. This is the media seating here. They have us high atop the Thomas and Mack Center. We're kind of near the top of the lower level. I used to get excited about this because we were close to the Dairy Queen. But now that I'm, not really trying to limit the carbs a little bit, I'm not sure we'll be visiting the Dairy Queen. They have a might be the only arena in America. I don't know, but they have an actual like Dairy Queen inside the Thomas and Mack Center, and it is a pretty cool treat when you come down here to go to Dairy Queen and get your blizzards. But we're going to try to avoid that tonight as we're watching the figure a little bit here tonight. But 40 minutes on the clock, so that makes this probably a 9:15 start, I would assume. I assume they have the pushback, and it looks like it's going to be 9:15 start time back in Boise. Still 39 minutes on the clock here, so I would suspect that is going to be the start time for UNLV and Boise State. Again, Javen Buchanan out. We should get the starting lineups and the updated projections here from the Sports Information Department within the next few minutes, and we'll get those back to you guys as well. I want to dive into the comments as well. Let us know what comments you got, what score predictions you got, where you're watching from, all that good stuff. I want to dive into the ICCU YouTube chat. Abe was our only guest tonight, so it's just you guys and myself here for the rest of the way. So the more comments we got, the more predictions, questions we got, the longer we'll keep this thing rolling here and show you warm-ups and show you the sights and sounds. They are doing the $4 beers here, 20-ounce beers for $4 from when the doors open until the end of the first media timeout. And I joked on Twitter, does that include the media as well? I of course, did not partake in that. Maybe a post-game back at Circa if the Broncos are able to get a win or something. But nice, clever way to try to get fans in the building early. You'd love to see something like that at Boise State. I know in the past they couldn't do it because Boise State didn't control the arena, at least the athletics department. Now they do. And you wonder if there's a way they can try to get – I know you don't want to promote student drinking and all that, and I understand it. I get it. So maybe you make it for everybody. But a little happy hour, they call it. From when the doors open till the first media timeout, you can get $4 20-ounce drafts. And certainly that's a way to get some fans in here early. And I see a lot of folks partaking in the 20-ounce beverages around the arena. And we'll see we'll see what that does to the overall crowd. But certainly something to consider if you're Boise State. A lot of talk about the students. How do you get more students into the arena? And certainly one way to do that might be to offer some discounted food or drinks, either all game or at least pregame. And we'll have to find out if that is a option here moving forward. But some other teams in the conference do it. UNLV certainly does it. And again, I get the optics of students and drinking and things like that. But if you do it for everybody in the arena, and it helps bring a crowd in here. Maybe you do it for sodas and beer, so it's not just alcohol. I'm not sure. But sports guy watching from Minnesota, appreciate you. Rob Hawkins coming in with some confidence, excitement. Let's get this thing back on track, and tonight would certainly seem to be a night that you'd like to try to do that. Creamy cold Boise, go Broncos, time to bounce back with a road win. Manny says another beautiful day. Kanan Rogers, appreciate our intern, associate reporter, Kanan Rogers. Check out his podcast, by the way. Wants to see if some adjustments were made. We'll see that in the near future here. Carson Gardner saying there has to be some changes, right? Well, yes, there has to be at least one. There has to be at least one because Javen Buchanan is out of the lineup tonight. So one starter is down. So without doing anything different, they're going to have to make one change to the starting lineup. And then we'll see if there's another one in terms of Dylan Andrews or what else they decide to do on a rotation standpoint, on a playing time standpoint. Let's see here. 65-64 Boise. Let's get it back together. Hopefully Javen is all right. Well, yeah, he's hopefully all right, but he is out tonight, and we'll find out later what that means in terms of long-term or how long he's out. Got a prediction that Boise State loses by 9. We got Kanan saying, dang, no Javen Buchanan, that hurts. Creamy cold Boise, someone just punched me in the gut is the comment there about having no Javen Buchanan, so certainly that does hurt. Go Broncos. I'm going to move my bag here so folks can get by. Sorry about that. Go Broncos, beat the Rebels. Somebody else got to step up. Chad says no Javen may change my score prediction. So a lot of comments continue to roll in. Score predictions. Appreciate that. Meadow, more shots. Carmichael, more minutes. Both those sound pretty good to me. Be happy for both of those things from a Boise State perspective. Definitely need to get Andrew Meadow. I want 10-plus shots from Meadow, and if we can get 10-plus from Carmichael, that would be nice as well. But I think you need 10-plus shots at a minimum 10-plus shots from Andrew Meadow tonight. let's see here. I still feel like DA has to start and play a lot too thin at point guard. That's kind of where I am. I said this on the morning show this morning, but you're not really in a position where you can just not play him at all. And the way this team was built, if you want this team to be any good moving forward, you want to have any chance come conference tournament time or postseason to go on a run here, you have to have Dylan Andrews as part of this team. So if they want to start him and ride with him and just try to get him to be a little more involved and a little more of a team player, I'm perfectly fine with that. If they want to, just let him catch his breath and come off the bench and watch the first few minutes and calm down and make a change and have him come off the bench, I'm fine with that too. But I'm not really one way or the other going to go crazy if he starts or doesn't start. It wouldn't shock me or surprise me one way or the other if they decide to make a change to the starting lineup with Javen Buchanan. But we do have the starting lineup, but I guess I'm not supposed to go with it yet. So, all right, we'll see here. All right, interesting. There is some changes to the starting lineup, but I guess I got to wait 15 more minutes to tell you about it. They just texted it to me. But we're not quite ready to say. But I'll just say both point guards are not starting tonight. Both point guards are not starting. One is, one isn't. And we'll get to which one that is here in a little bit. And then, we'll find out here in a little bit. I don't want to say too much. But there are some changes to the lineup. We'll discuss that here in about 15 minutes or so on the pregame show. But you see they got us way up here. By the way, Native Apparel, Dylan Davis. Shout out to Dylan Davis, Native Apparel. They do a great job with screen printing and things. They friend of mine and sons play baseball together. Got the vest here and looking sharp with the vest here. So we appreciate Native Apparel. If you need any screen printed items or anything, check out Native Apparel. I can hook you in contact with them. They've done the Bronco Nation News hats as well, and they can do all kinds of apparel for businesses or teams. So shout out to Dylan Davis, John Keller, Native Apparel. If you need any gear, I can get you in the right direction and help you out. But Kanan says the only reason I throw Peanut in there is because I'd prefer size on this UNLV team. Could be the case, though. They're a big team, and you do have to think about that when you go to the lineup here, what they're going to do in terms of the size. They've got some size, some strength, certainly some athleticism on UNLV's roster. That's why Buchanan being out is a really big deal. I said it this morning, but Ali Farouknamesh, the Colorado State coach, was on our Another Night in the Mountain West show the other night after they beat UNLV, and he's been an assistant coach in this league and a head coach in this league for 6-7 years, and he said that was the most athletic team that he has played in 6-7 years in the league. I just said it. 6-7. Yeah, I said it. Didn't try to. But in their time in the league, it was the most athletic team they've played was this UNLV team. So that certainly is going to be something to keep in mind here. The athleticism, the size of UNLV going against this Boise State team that is now undermanned without Javen Buchanan here tonight. Peanut needs to step up, especially on D. Same with Aarons. I feel like Meadow can drive 1-versus-1. A lot more can happen. Another storyline here, as always, is the officiating. Alfred Smith, Edwin Young, and Tommy Nunez. Now, Tommy Nunez, his Ken Pom ranking is number 200. Number 200 on the Ken Pom ranking for Tommy Nunez. He's had some history with Boise State, and he was the ref for the Malice in the Palace, the NBA brawl with the Detroit Pistons and Ron Artest. Sorry, my screen is shaking here. The folks next to me are shaking. But if you remember the Malice in the Palace, the NBA game, one of the officials, and if you rewatch that, he's the guy in the middle trying to get like Ron Artest and some of these guys back before the brawl really escalates and goes into the stands. It's little old Tommy Nunez, who now is reffing college basketball, but he was one of the officials in the Malice in the Palace game with Ron Artest, and it's right there all over the documentaries and the highlights of that, right when they started pushing and shoving, he dove in, and then it escalated into the stands, and he couldn't do anything with it. So that's one of the officials tonight. Edwin Young checks in at like 108, 110. I believe he did the Nevada game, called a ton of fouls. And then Alfred Smith actually checks in at number 49. So one top 50 official, Alfred Smith tonight, and then Edwin Young and Tommy Nunez. Neither one of those guys have done a ton of Boise State games in the past, so not a ton of familiarity, but Tommy Nunez has done a ton of Boise State games in the past. So, again, we're here on the pregame show waiting for the Broncos to come back out on the court, and then we'll give you a live look and show you what's going on as the players come back out. The Broncos in the orange uniforms tonight, but both teams have cleared the court. You see here the live look as the Broncos will be on the bench right across from us here. Did get word that Matt Boucher will be in the house. Matt Boucher, big Bronco booster, in the house. Made the trip down on the PJ, and he'll be in the stands tonight. So we appreciate Matt Boucher and his support. Boucher Real Estate. Might as well go ahead and get the Boucher Real Estate read mentioned. We'll have our Boucher Real Estate player of the game, but we'll have Matt Boucher in the crowd tonight. Boucher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Boucher and Boucher Real Estate. He helped us buy and sell our home, and you can do the same. Matt Boucher, again, online, BoucherRealEstate.com. You may have, friends, family members, acquaintances that are realtors, but nobody's going to fight harder for you than our man Matt Boucher, and you'll see him courtside fighting for the Broncos here tonight. Signature Roofing, we had a voicemail come in. I'll play it tomorrow, I believe. Signature Roofing, speakpipe.com/BNN. We want to hear some voicemails. Post-game show, tomorrow's show. Going to give away a gift card to the top voicemail coming up on Friday. It's real easy. Do it right there from your phone. Signature Roofing, voice inbox, speakpipe.com/BNN. And again, it's brought to you by Signature Roofing online at mysignatureroofing.com. Whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an estimate, or an inspection, they got you covered online at mysignatureroofing.com. We've also got Ridley's Family Markets we want to thank. ShopRidleys.com. Again, you're not missing anything. When the Broncos get back on the court, we'll show you the live warm-ups. We'll keep taking your comments, your score predictions in the ICCU YouTube chat. We'll check the Signature Roofing scoreboard as well in the Mountain West and tell you about our plans for tonight with another night in the Mountain West. But once the Broncos get back on the court, we'll show you that live. But while we're waiting, I want to thank a few of our great sponsors, and that includes Ridley's Family Markets, ShopRidleys.com. Download their new Skip app. Get savings up to 40% off in that Skip app. Online, find that location near you at shopridleys.com. We appreciate Ridley's Family Markets. We'll pick our defensive player of the game. Our defensive player of the game brought to you by Element Fencing after the game. Whether it's decks, pergolas, fences, cedar, wrought iron, vinyl, they can do it all. 25-plus years, family-owned fencing company. Let Brady and his crew go to work for you. Design that perfect fence for your need. All your fencing needs. Check them out online at elementfencing.com. Tell them you heard about it on BNN. They'll hook you up with a sweet deal. And we appreciate Element Fencing for their support of Bronco Nation News. Rowpaint.com. Andy Rowe and company, they could use the help, folks. 20% off your winter painting projects. If you're able to get that painting project you've thought about finally taken care of, you can do that at rowpaint.com. Again, 20% off your winter painting project. If you tell them you heard about it on Bronco Nation News, rowpaint.com. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. And our final sponsor we want to thank right now is Transportation Compliance Service. Their last but certainly not least, transcomservice.com can help you get into the trucking industry every step of the way. Transportation Compliance Service, whether it's DOT, overweight, permits, all the things you need to get back out there towing that first load in no time. Make sure you check them out online at Transportation Compliance Service. All right, we're back, and you see the Broncos have just taken the floor in the orange uniforms there. The orange uniforms with the Boise State, the retro uniforms, a pretty cool look. They're one of my favorite uniforms, so excited to see how those look tonight here at the Thomas and Mack Center. They've worn them a couple times this year, but not a ton. The new retro Boise State uniforms will be broken out for the first time in Las Vegas here tonight. I believe all of you know this by now, but this is the same arena, the Thomas and Mack Center, as the Mountain West tournament. So Boise State gets a chance to be in the arena, get a little familiar with it. They obviously changed the court. They take down all the banners. They put up new banners for the conference. There's a new court, new seating. They do some different things. So it looks like a completely new arena for the conference tournament. But the red seats are the same. The scoreboard's the same. And the lighting's the same. So you do get a chance to get a feel for the conference tournament here a little bit early. And this will be the final year that Boise State plays the conference tournament here in the Thomas and Mack Center before they move on to the Pac-12, and we'll find out whether or not they go to the T-Mobile Arena or the MGM Garden Arena or what their plans are, but I know they're hoping to keep the tournament in Las Vegas, and it'll be a true neutral court without UNLV moving forward here. But tonight won't be anything neutral about this court. There's going to be a small smattering of Boise State fans. Hey, I see the Drapers over there. Top right, they got the spotlight on them. Melinda and Rob Draper, appreciate them in section 119. they flew down, Boise State fans, and are staying at Circa just because they heard us talking about it on BNN and they want to support us. Rob recently retired, so congratulations to Rob. This is his retirement trip, and his wife said we're staying at Circa and we're going to the basketball game. So appreciate them for coming down and appreciate Circa, Derek Stevens, and the whole crew for having us over there again. The last couple of days we've been broadcasting from the sports book there at Circa, so appreciate them for their support of Bronco Nation News. And it's where anytime you come down to Vegas, you need to go stay at Circa and check out all of our friends over at Circa. Mountain West Tournament, Super Bowl, all those good things. We appreciate Circa. Let's see what else we got here. Chad says, without Javen, I'm worried. Kanan says, hope I'm wrong. Going to go 80-68 UNLV. No JB here. I just don't see that. I don't see them getting blown out again by double digits tonight. I could be wrong. I know this UNLV team has some talent. But I think that personally, and again, I don't feel quite as good about this knowing that Javen is out. But I feel like tonight the Broncos can find a way to get back on track. Someone's going to have a big game. It's going to be Nato or Aarons or Carmichael. Somebody's going to step up and have a big game tonight. And I just got a feeling that the streak ends tonight. They're on the road, backs against the wall. Everybody counting them out, wanting to fire Coach Rice and quit the season. And that's usually when they kind of get things rolling again. And so I believe the Broncos are going to find a way to get back on track tonight, frankly. So I'm not 100% sure they're going to win, but I certainly don't. I would be pretty surprised if they got blown out by double digits. I would say that. Old comment here, but it says your Jayhawks are blowing a 25-point lead in the against the number 2. I need an update on that score, Ben. How are we looking against John Mallory, I heard, bet the house on Iowa State, so I felt pretty good about Kansas at that point. But so Johnny should know better than to bet against Kansas at Allen Fieldhouse. When you can get points, when Kansas is an underdog at home, when you can get points at Allen Fieldhouse, you take that every time. What are you talking about? Come on. Speaking of scores, though, let's take a look at the Signature Roofing scoreboard. Surprising score out in Fresno, California. Colorado State, they're going straight to Boise. They're flying to Boise tomorrow. You'll see them around town for a couple of days before the Friday night game against the Broncos. Well, they're currently down 65-57 to Fresno State. Colorado State, coming off a win over this same UNLV team, now is losing to Fresno State 65-57 with only 2:27 to go. So we'll keep an update on that one. But Fresno State 65, Colorado State 57 with 2:27 to go. The Rams do come to Boise on Friday. New Mexico, they're taking care of business at home. They're about to be 5-1 in league play. They're up 75-56 on Grand Canyon. New Mexico up 20 at home on Grand Canyon with 6 minutes to go in that game. And then battle of 0-5 teams in conference play. There will somebody's getting a win tonight, San Jose or Air Force. At the half, San Jose leads 27-21 at home. So San Jose State up 6 and Air Force down 6. Those teams are both 0-5 in Mountain West play. One of those teams is going to get a win tonight. 78-52. I mean, K-Brote, I like the optimism. I don't know if it'll quite be that big, but it wouldn't surprise me if Boise State wins by double digits. I could see this score happening. 79-65 is the 84 or 62. Another double-digit prediction. I wonder how many of these came in before the Javen Buchanan news, but we got 67-62. Frankly, without Javen Buchanan, that's probably in the range we're looking at. Losing Bowie hurt the guard depth. Yeah, I would all right, we're going with the starting lineup. The starting lineup is Dylan Andrews, R.J. Keene, Andrew Meadow, Drew Fielder, and Dom Parolin. That's your starting lineup tonight. I'm going to try to tweet it out, so I apologize, but your starting lineup tonight for Boise State is going to be Dylan Andrews, R.J. Keene. I'm saying this as I type it out. You can let me know what you think about this. Andrew Meadow, Drew Fielder, and Dom Parolin. That means no A.G. Nato in the starting lineup. Parolin goes in for basically for Buchanan. And then you have Keene back in for A.G. Nato. What do you make of that, folks? The size of Keene probably helps. You get Drew Fielder and Dom Parolin both in there. And what do you think? And again, I'm tweeting this out, so I apologize. This is horrible show hosting here. But also have to get this up on Twitter as well. Let us know. What do you think? Again, one more time, the starting lineup. Dylan Andrews, R.J. Keene, Andrew Meadow, Drew Fielder, and Dom Parolin. Your starting 5 tonight. And DA not starting is what was predicted a few minutes ago. Sorry, that let's see. Don't Hate It from Sick Modern. Going big, interesting. NATO should be instead of Andrews. Carmichael maybe in there instead of Parolin. They got some big guys, so I think they're trying to start out with a mindset about rebounding. And remember, rebounding and toughness. They really struggled on the glass, gave up 26 second chance points. I watched the great Reb Zone show here in town on Sunday night, an award-winning presentation on the local Fox affiliate, Fox 5. And, it was just, couldn't take my eye off the show. It was great stuff. But with that said, they talked a lot about the rebounding and the physicality that Josh Pastner wants to see from his team, and it sounded a lot like Boise State and what they try to do. Rebounding certainly going to be a battle here tonight, and you're going with Parolin and Fielder, two big guys in the lineup tonight, at least to start with, to try to go rebounding. A lineup that lacks scoring, yeah, Parolin's not a big scorer. Keene's not a big scorer. I get it, but you don't have Buchanan, so what are you going to do? By the way, is tonight the night that Bunn gets a chance? The freshman? Is tonight the night that Bunn gets a chance out there? Bum. Is this his night? Athletic guy. Does he get some minutes? Maybe he's played sparingly. That wouldn't shock me if he got a few minutes tonight. You look at the intensity Boise State's playing within this drill right now. You don't see this every game, but they're doing a little bit of a mock kind of shell drill, defensive drill here. But Boise State trying to get the juices flowing early and get woken up a little bit here. You see our man, Coach Mike Burns down there firing up this group, and they're trying to get the intensity going early on here on this defensive drill. Some games they do this, but not every game, and they are trying to really get a little bit of a lather going and get locked in defensively right from the tip. But rebounding is going to be a huge key in this game. And interesting that you're going to have Kanan Rogers wants to see Ethan Lathan tonight. All right. Wonder why he would say that. But, yeah, we would that's certainly an option if you want to go big. You're going one spot down the depth chart without Javen Buchanan. So I think Bunn and Ethan maybe both could get some minutes tonight. We'll have to see at some point. Wild starters. Not starting NATO is crazy, but honestly, I'm not too shocked. Again, I think that there's a lot to this. I don't think that Leon Rice is saying, Drew Fielder played better. That Dylan Andrews played better in the last game than AG NATO. I don't think he's saying that. I think there's just you got to do something, and I think they want it's Keene. I think Andrews was always going to start, and then they decided on Keene over NATO. So, if the last game is any indication, they're going to go to the bench 2 minutes into the game. So it's not like it's going to be a big that these guys are going to play 40 minutes here. So I wouldn't get too too excited about the starting lineup because it probably maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the 5 starters all play 35 minutes tonight. We'll see. But both bigs are in the starting lineup tonight, and only 1 point guard. So it is certainly shaking things up a little bit. Let's see what else we got here. NATO, the super sub, yeah. Kanan's okay with everybody except besides Parolin would want Carmichael there. Yeah, they're going big. And again, I still think Carmichael's going to get plenty of options, plenty of minutes. Need to drive to the basket early. Don't settle for threes. We're getting our first Rebels, by the way, by the band, which you'll hear about 74,000 times over the next 2 hours. Let's see what else we got here. I'd put Peanut in over Keene. Got some agreement with that. Let's see. If we do not win tonight, is the offensive coordinator in trouble? I don't see any kind of midseason. Assistant coaches in basketball just don't get fired midseason. It just doesn't happen. So I could be wrong, but I'm certainly not expecting that to happen. There's Matt Bauscher. He's fired up. He's there courtside. You see him down there. Seth Robinson in the house, some of their buddies. Right down there behind the bench, Matt Bauscher in his blue polo is clapping right about the free throw line. You can see him down there right across from the Mountain West logo. Bauscher is firing up the crew tonight as the Broncos try to get back on track, and they've got a nice contingent of fans sitting there right behind the basket. There's some other fans kind of splattered in throughout the arena as well. There's Melinda Draper. We gave her a shout-out earlier. Appreciate it. She must be watching. Appreciate that. Let's see. Maybe let's Fielder get to the perimeter more. Yeah. If Parolin's down below, that does allow that to happen a little bit. Hopefully Nato and Peanut come off the bench hot, provide some scoring punch there. Andrew's not a scorer either. The thing is, he actually is. He hasn't been to this point, but I think he can score. You see Keene and Buchanan taking the captain's talk out there with the officials. Again, our officials tonight, Alfred Smith, number 49 at Ken Palm. Edwin Young, he's like 114. And then Tommy Nunez, the official from the Malice and the Palace game back on the brawl with the Detroit Pistons back in the day. He is number 200 at Ken Palm. He's stretching out there on the bottom left by the camera. He is your third official here tonight. Let's see. Keene has had a couple of rough games. Team needs him at his best. Too good on defense and rebounding. Yeah. You need a classic R.J. Keene game tonight. Need him engaged, need him defending, making that winning play. Certainly need R.J. Keene to produce tonight. 8 points, 3 rebounds for Bun Bomb. That would be quite the surprise. You heard it here first, Jared. If that happens, he'll be our player of the game, and you may have a gift card coming your way. We'll see, but I could see him getting in there. Adam has taken UNLV by 15 to 20. 15 to 20 thinks UNLV is going to get the win tonight. Let's see, 15-minute mark. They'll both check in. Yeah, my one hope is, by the way, there's Scott Garson, old friend Scott Garson, an assistant coach at UNLV at midcourt talking to the referees. Scott Garson, the old C of I coach. Remember him at the College of Idaho, took them to a Final Four a couple of times. He is now an assistant coach here at UNLV in his first season with Josh Pastner. So good to see Scott Garson back in the building down at midcourt. But too many subs in recent games. I'd like to see the starters stay out there for a little bit longer. Don't sub so quickly. And let's see if we can get that going tonight. Not as many subs. By the way, there's John Molchon. John Molchon in the house down there. Former Boise State offensive lineman. Super Bowl champion with the with Tom Brady, right, in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Look at that ponytail he's rocking now. Bottom right. But there he is, John Molchon. You see him in the bottom. I moved the camera here, talking to the usher. Blue hat, blue shirt there. A Super Bowl champion, John Molchon, in the house tonight for Boise State and UNLV. So we got Matt Bauscher. We got the Drapers. We got a Super Bowl champion. We got all kinds of folks here in the house ready to watch Boise State and UNLV coming up in a little bit. Let's see. If I was Coach Burns, I'd tell DA, drive the rim, attack like a dog, go to the free throw line. You're an excellent free throw shooter. Also no threes. Yeah, no threes would be a nice place to start. Let's see. Regardless, Leon picked his 5. Let's stick with it. I hate to see the substitutions. Yes, that's what I was talking about. Stop subbing 2 minutes into the game. Let's get to the first media timeout with your starters in. These were the starters you chose. Let's not make a sub too early. Let's let them try to get into a flow a little bit and see what happens. I'd be perfectly fine with that. Scott Garson, great guy. Went to many of his camps, some of the best I've ever been to. Yeah, love Scott Garson. Good to see him doing well. Great coach. We got capacity crowd, it looks like. Yeah, this is 11 minutes before tip-off here, and this is your crowd. So it is not going to be a full house here tonight by any means. Let's see. Carmichael looking good in the background, it seems. Yeah. He's making some threes. Let's see if he can keep that going. Liam Riley says, can Meadow shoot the ball more than 4? Yes, you need 10 plus. 10-plus shots is what I want to see from Andrew Meadow tonight, no doubt. John Molchon, Dom and Drew, 2 bigs. Yep, 2 bigs. And getting a win. Oh, see, 3 scores. You haven't scored in 3-4 games. That is a problem. Yeah. But, again, Javen Buchanan's out, so – I think if they know they're not going to score, they got to go defense and rebounding to start with, and that's what they're choosing. You know your offense isn't great anyway. You might as well put your best defensive and rebounding lineup out there and try to not fall behind early. You want a physical, tough group that's going to start the game not behind 10-0, hopefully. I mean, that's the biggest key for me tonight. Don't fall behind 10-0. Don't let UNLV in this crowd kind of think, okay, we got them, and don't let any sulking or anything on the bench for Boise State saying, oh, here we go again. So let's see if we can get Boise State out to a little better start, get some confidence, get some momentum, and see if they can roll from here. All right, yes, Tom Moser. Glad he gets some sleep tonight with the show starting at halftime. I did want to bring that up. Yes, another night in the Mountain West. There's 3 games going on right now, like I said. Because Boise State's the last game tonight, we don't want to have my show and Tom Moser's show going on at the same time. Because of that, we've decided to try something new tonight. Tom is going to go live at halftime of the Boise State game. When the Boise State game hits halftime, Tom is going to go live, give his first half thoughts. So jump in there at halftime. Tom's going to give his first half thoughts, a little halftime show. And then during the second half, he's going to kind of watch the game live, keep talking about it, but also talk about the other 3 games that already happened tonight. And then when the Boise State game goes final, he'll end his show, and I'll be able to start our show right away. Remember, on the road, we do our show pretty much right when the game ends, and we're going to jump on with Coach Rice, a player or two. We'll be live right when the game ends, so there's no delay on the road here. So I know it'll be late, but as soon as the game ends on the CBS Sports Network, you can flip over to BNN, and we'll get rolling with the post-game show right away. But halftime, make sure at halftime you flip over or come back here at halftime for another night in the Mountain West. Tom Moser will give his halftime thoughts and then watch the second half live while he's talking about the other 3 games. We're going to see if that works tonight. KU up 13 on Iowa State. There you go. Haven't seen the game, but I'll take that. Rock chalk. All right. I like it. Sub BJ in for a few shots from deep. Everybody wanted to make jokes and make fun about my broad jump. But I can shoot the ball a little bit. Give me a free throw shooting contest. I made 8 of 10 over there at waiting for Leon to come out for practice the other day. So I can make a free throw or 2. I can make a 3-pointer. The problem that I get into is when you actually having to start run up and down the court. If I can just stand there and it's a shooting contest, I'm actually okay. But if I got to start moving up and down, that's when I get winded pretty quickly, to be honest. So now the Broncos are up 21. KU. I like that. All right. I like it. That's great. So, again, appreciate Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor of this pregame show and of Bronco Nation News. Get on out to Lithia Ford of Boise, lithiafordboise.com. Check them out, lithiafordboise.com. They got some great deals on some 2025s right now. You can get out there, and we appreciate them. lithiafordboise.com. You can view that full inventory of vehicle. And, of course, Sun Cruiser. Crack open a Sun Cruiser. Let the good times cruise, whether it's those lemonade, iced tea vodkas, whether it's just the lemonade vodkas, a lot of great options. We appreciate Sun Cruiser and the Boston Beer Company for their support of Bronco Nation News. Sun Cruiser, highly recommend them. Perfect drink to kind of sip on during the game. Low carb, low calorie. We appreciate them for their support. And, of course, our Jackson's. Appreciate Jackson's, the 99-cent coffee day or night at Jackson's. We appreciate them for that. Oh, I see some of my guys from Circa walking in. Antoine Andrews. I wonder if I can get him up on the pregame show here. Courtside. I don't know if I can get him on in time, but Antoine Andrews sitting courtside here. My buddy down there walking across. Works at Circa, as does a former UNLV center that he's walking in with. So, should be a fun one tonight. Appreciate Jackson's. Appreciate Taco Bell. Appreciate ICCU, the Blue and Orange Store, all of our major sponsors, Signature Roofing, Voucher Real Estate, Transportation Compliance Service, Element Fencing, all of our great sponsors at Bronco Nation News, Ridley's Family Markets, rowpaint.com, Timberstone Golf Course. Enjoy the game, everybody. Boise State in action here in about 6 minutes against UNLV. Over on CBS Sports Network. Enjoy the game, everybody. Boise State, UNLV, we got to get off of here due to contractual obligations with the Mountain West. But enjoy the game. Appreciate you guys. Come back at halftime. Tom Moser will be live with another night in the Mountain West. And then we'll be live post-game, full post-game coverage as soon as the game goes final right here on Bronco Nation News. The Jackson's post-game show coming up after the game. This has been the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. The only local outlet. You got Bob and Abe next to me on the radio side. Nobody else. No newspapers, no TV stations. Nobody else made the trip from Boise to cover this game. Bronco Nation News is here giving you full coverage. So go subscribe at bronconationnews.com. $5 a month right now. You can subscribe at bronconationnews.com. And, of course, We'll see you on the postgame show. They're turning out the lights. We're getting closer to tip-off. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your support of Bronco Nation News. Enjoy the game. We'll see you on the postgame show. Boise State trying to end that 3-game losing streak. A big one against UNLV coming up in a couple of minutes. We got you covered online, BroncoNationNews.com, and all across the social media channels and the YouTube channel of BroncoNationNews.com. Adam is subscribing. That's what I like to hear. Thank you, Adam. $5 a month. Support us at BroncoNationNews.com. You get the transfer portal news. You get the basketball coverage, football coverage, all kinds of stuff at Bronco Nation News. And, yes, the football team has killed the portal, and Chris Van Sickle is killing it with his coverage of the transfer portal. So appreciate you guys for checking us out. Hope you enjoy the game. Over on the CBS Sports Network, we'll see you at halftime, and then we'll see you post-game. Bronco Nation News down here, exclusive coverage at the Thomas and Mack Center at UNLV. Enjoy the game. We'll talk to you guys afterwards. Bronco Nation News online, BroncoNationNews.com.